For years, everyone has known that black bars make everything more cinematic.
Today, I'm going to talk to you about aspect ratios. For those of you who don't know, that's the number produced when you divide the width of the screen by the height. The result you get from this are the black bars you see either on the top and bottom or left and right of the screen. Nowadays, the prevailing aspect ratio is 2.35 to 1, aka CinemaScope. But how did it get so popular in the first place? To see that, we're gonna have to go back to the golden age of Hollywood. In almost every classical movie you see, the aspect ratio is 1.37 to 1, aka Academy ratio. This box-like frame let filmmakers not only use width, but height to their advantage. Let's take a look at my favorite shot from the movie Seven Samurai. Look at this. The director uses the height of the frame to tell you everything you need to know. The poor villagers in the bottom, the samurai above, and at the very top, right in the middle, the grave with the sword in it. This single shot tells an entire story on its own, which was very common for films using Academy ratio. That was until TVs came along in the 1950s. TV screens had basically the same aspect ratio as Academy ratio, so big movie studios decided that they needed to come up with something different. In came widescreen. There was everything from 1.85 to 1 all the way to 2.76, with the most popular being CinemaScope, 235. People loved it. This new horizontal frame allowed for wide landscapes and sprawling ensembles. However, many classical directors had to learn and adapt to this new style. I mean, imagine that shot I showed you from before in widescreen. It just wouldn't work out. Instead of using height to their advantage, directors had to use width, either separating their actors on opposite ends of the screen or completely spreading them out across. Widescreen films began to dominate most of cinema, which meant that TV studios really wanted to be able to show them off on their own screens. So, instead of zooming into the movie to make it fit the screen, they just kept it as is and put black bars on the empty space. This is called letterboxing. Since new generations of filmmakers would grow up watching more and more movies on TV, they began to associate these black bars with making their movies more cinematic? Which is why nowadays you'll find that almost every film is made in CinemaScope. Even video games do it to seem more cinematic. However, I will admit, things are slowly but surely beginning to change. With the rise of directors like Wes Anderson and Robert Eggers, Hollywood is beginning to remember the whole point behind aspect ratios: to frame the screen in a way that fits the movie, not just because it's cinematic.